You're good to go.
Oh, it's going now?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, yeah. Hello. My name's Colin again. I'm on the Olympics at the moment. Now, I left a video before on the Olympics a while back, nearly 3 weeks ago, and but the position is that when I heard the video back, I found that I spent too much time silencing the critics than putting actually the movie more about the Olympics, rather than like I spent too much time trying to silence the critics, and there's very little on the Olympics. Now, let's have a look at it now. We're in a position where well, I'll give you an example now. I was watching TV just recently, and I saw a live program of a pawnbroker in the United States. It was an actual live program where people were bringing in stuff, and somebody brought in something that was a bulletproof vest. I think it was worn by Paul McCartney. I think they wanted a big high figure for it. And somebody else brought in something that was worn by Elizabeth Taylor, was it? And so they wanted high money because it was worn by Elizabeth Taylor. Now, somebody brought in a spray of jewellery, these gems. They were like a fan. You know how people fan themselves with a sort of a fan that goes around about a third of the way round, and they fan themselves in the hot weather. It was like that. It was a fan, and what happened was she wanted $500,000 smackers for that fan. Not for the fan, for the jewellery, the gems that covered that fan, because she wanted to buy an apartment for $500,000. So the pawnbroker, he was looking at this, and he offered her less than what she wanted, probably about $300,000 for it. But she literally shook her head and says, no, because she wanted $500,000 to buy her apartment. Now, personally speaking, I can't see how a fan-like amount of stones can be worth the same as an apartment, but that's the way it is. So, so therefore, you have to, you have to do it that way. So anyway, so the pawnbroker finally shook her by the hand, and that's the way he does it when he when he clinches a deal. He does it by the shake of a hand. So he clinched the deal, and so she got $500,000 for her for that spread of jewellery. Now, we're looking at the Olympics. Now, you see, as I said in my last video, the last full gold medal was back in 1912. And the ones they are today, and probably since 1912, you've just got plated gold. Now, what is this plated gold over? What is the medal they give you the gold is plated over? Well, quite likely it's probably brass. So basically what you're getting, you come first throughout the entire world, in the Olympic Games, which is a worldwide event. Every country is represented. Every country, no matter what, probably even Syria, if it was at war, still represented. North Korea is represented. In fact, they came in once as Korea, at least once, if not more than once. Korea, South Korea, North Korea came into the Olympic Games as Korea. So every country is represented. And so therefore then an athlete comes first at the whole world in this big event, only once every 4 years, and all they get is they've been insulted and deceived. Maybe they weren't deceived, maybe they're not trying to deceive you, but just to not happen to mention it. But you just get, say, brass plated with gold, just like a paint of gold over it. So you haven't got gold at all. Take, for example, this one I was telling you about, this woman that went into the pawnbroker, and she had this spray of gems, and she wanted $500,000 for it. Now, supposing that they all were made of brass, say, and they were just coated with, say, diamond and that, and she knew that what you're buying was brass, well, she wouldn't buy it. It wouldn't be worth anything, and that sort of thing, because they're actually just brass coated with, say, if you could coat them with diamonds, a bit of diamond or something. You see, you've actually basically got a brass medal. Well, that's like it is in the Olympic Games. You've only got, if you did get a proper gold medal from before 1912, then you've got a proper medal. At least you've got a proper gold medal. And so you've been insulted and deceived or whatever, and certainly insulted by just be giving them brass or whatever, it is coated with a bit of gold, and it looks like gold, you see, so you accept it as a gold medal. But even gold, you see, gold is not as precious as gems. Gems are more precious than gold. And then you move to the second one, and they get silver, coming in second. So the whole world, they come in second, and all they get is silver. And then to complete the insult to athletes coming a worldwide event, they just get bronze, and that's really an insult. I mean, this is a worldwide event. This is the big Olympic Games every 4 years throughout the whole world, and they come third, which is very good, and they just get insulted with bronze. Now, don't you think that diamonds would be good? A diamond for the first, second, the ruby, third, the emerald, and fourth, the sapphire. Now, people say, forget about it, mate. Too expensive. You see, but I haven't got the figures with me just at the moment while I'm on this video, but I went to the Citizens' Advice and asked them how much the cost of the Olympics have been. And the Brazil one was something like about 34 billion. I just haven't got the figures with me at the moment. In the billions, if they just had just 1 billion less and spent it less on the splash and on diamonds and rubies and that, and it would go a long way in Africa if you gave the Africans 1 billion smackers for jewellery. That'd be a lot of money for Africans to get that much. You miss the middleman and that. You miss the transport and any other costs involved as well for these things. So they can be done. We'll put it this way, as I mentioned in my last video, I mentioned that that it's what we used to. Now, put it this way, if you always had the diamond, or especially a spray too, worth $500,000 for the first one, they splashed it. They just didn't give them one diamond, but they splashed it with 2 or 3 more diamonds and a few rubies or something, and maybe a sapphire or 2 or something, made a nice spread out of it because she come first or he come first throughout the world. And that's what they always had have done. and secondly, got the ruby, and third, they got the the emerald, and fourth, the sapphire. They'd always been like that, you see, for donkey's years, all you can remember. Then I come up with this crazy idea, or radical idea, why not give them plated gold for first, and second give them silver, and third give them a bronze. Well, if I start sort of coming out with these sort of things like shelters over shops if they'd never been, and nets over in tennis, this jolly net that gets in the way if they never had a net, and I come up with a crazy idea, why not have a net? And a goalie in soccer and hockey. The only two sports I know where they have something to stop the ball going through in the first place. Like in rugby, when you get to the line, you score. You don't have players trying to stop you from scoring who are independent of the 15-man game. And like it is with that, with a goalie in hockey and soccer. Now, if it had never been, you see, and they never had these goalies in there, you just kick the ball and that was it, and there's nobody to stop you. And I came up with a crazy idea to have a goalie just try and stop the ball going through it, and a goalie for hockey and soccer, and a net for tennis, and trains running underground. Then, of course, they probably quite like to want to strengthen my pills. But fortunately, it's not happening. So I'm not put away for many years. So anyway, so therefore the position is this: is that you oh goodness, my time's getting on. I must go. I'm low in time again. Goodness me, bugger it. Now where are we now? Oh yes, so now. We want to get this over to the Olympic Committee for the Olympics. If we miss on this one, it's going to be 4 years before we get the next one. So in other words, what we have to do, we have to get this video onto my previous video, which answers more questions about the answers more questions about the what shall I say, the hindrances, the negative side. I've given the cost. And there's a few other things why it can't be done, or more or less covered them, I suppose, in a way. But you see, there's got to be a change. You see, wouldn't, as I said in my last video, wouldn't it be nice for New Zealand athlete, a swimmer, say especially a teenager, to swoop in and hit the wall and snap up the diamond. And the second New Zealander comes in about a few seconds later and snaps up the ruby, and the next New Zealand girl, say a guy or girl, snaps up the emerald, and then somebody else from either New Zealand or another country snap up the fourth, which is the sapphire. And then, of course, there's a few other medals too to go. There's about 12 major ones. There's the I haven't got them on me at the moment. There's the jade, I think, is one, and then there's the what's the name of it? There's the jade, and there's the I didn't have them in front of me actually. Jasper, and then there's some semi ones. So wouldn't it be nice for each athlete, regardless of whether they won or that come last, to get a gem, even if it's a semi-gem? And they go back and they've got a gem. They haven't got anything. Today, if you just come fourth, you could just only be a second or two outside of someone who came third, and you get nothing. You might get a certificate. I haven't gone into detail yet about what they get I think it's just a certificate they get, or maybe the wooden spoon. I haven't got it sorted out yet. But they don't get any more. There's only the insulting plated gold and the insulting silver, not worth anything really in particular. I mean, how many bars of silver would be worth that fan of jewellery? But I was talking about that woman took it into the into the broker. What do you call it? The pawn broker. And she got $500,000 for it. So there's got to be a change, you see, and we've seen the cost involved is no problem, and today it can all be done by buttons. Literally, you can transfer money from in Tokyo. They can transfer the yen or whatever. I think I haven't checked it out. I think it's the yen is the Tokyo money, a Japanese money, whatever it is. It can be translated just by pressing buttons into an account, and someone in Africa who needed the money to get the gems, to find them, they might need money to find them. If they haven't got a bank account, they can just open it up for them, but just by pressing buttons. So it can be done. Everything can be done in 2 or 3 months, ready for this Olympic Games in Tokyo, where they get the diamonds and the rubies and the emeralds and the sapphire and the jade and the jasper and such like. You see, it can be done. Wouldn't it be nice for a New Zealander to come home with a diamond, especially a spray of gems worth $500,000? So she could go into a broker like that woman, and she wanted to buy an apartment later on. You know, I have to get $500,000. I want to buy my apartment. And so you see, that's a worldwide event. You see. Now, so the question is how are we going to get this message to the? Oh goodness me, it's been 1/4 hour. I don't know how much time they'll give me. Oh goodness, they might give me 20 minutes. Don't know how much time they'll give me on this. A big deal. I could try for a bit longer and see how I go. Now, so what we have to do is we have to get this message, this video, to the Olympic Committee, because they're the ones who are going to handle the situation. It's not any good marching on Parliament, really, because if, say, the Honourable Winston Peters came to address the crowd, he might just sort of pull a revolver on me and sort of banish the revolver at me like John Wayne and said, "Hey, who that fella boy? What is many gem? What does fella boy? What is many gem? Tell me quickly now. What does fella boy? Tell me quickly now." So, in other words, he doesn't even know what it's all about, really, you see. And the same with Jacinda too. She'll pull a revolver on me too and say, "Who that fella boy? Who that fella? What is many gem? Who that fella boy? Tell me quickly now." She didn't know either, and so it's no good, Sir, the Honourable Winston Peters saying, "Oh, Jacinda, she'll put you right." Yeah, I'll tell you, you go to Jacinda, she'll put you right. She'll give them arseholes. She'll give the committee arseholes. No question about that, right? She'll give them arseholes, all right, mate. She'll pull a revolver on them and banish a revolver on them like John Wayne, mate. She'll give them arseholes. Don't worry about that. Jacinda will. She'll put you right. But then, you see, Jacinda doesn't know anything about it, you see, to put me right on this. So therefore, then the question is, how are we going to get this message, this video? See, a video is very important because you can't interrupt the video, and same with print. Can't be interrupted, you see. So this message might be enough for the New Zealand Committee to get moving, if it can get to them, this message, you see. Now, the students do have a voice, but students are generally not in a position like being a mayor or something like that, in some prominent position. But they still could do something. They could have their father or something could be a mayor or something like this, or a relative of Jacinda or something like that, and could move things along. But you see, banners, as I say, are no good, because what's all this gems are bloody about? You see, they, as I say, the Honourable Winston Peters will just pull a revolver on me, because as what would be naturally you would expect him to do, naturally, because he wants to know what all this is bloody about. You see, so therefore the question is, how can we get this to the committee for the games? So if anybody got any suggestions, you could maybe leave it on the video or something, or do something about it. I haven't quite got organised actually yet. I'm trying to get this video on because Christmas is coming, and I want to try and get these Olympics going. I'll try and get athletes, New Zealand athletes, coming home with diamonds and rubies and sapphires and emeralds. Not this bloody gold, bloody shit. It's plated gold, insulting with silver and particularly bronze. It's a bloody insult to New Zealand, not only New Zealand athletes, but also all athletes throughout the world. It needs to be changed. We've got the money. The big splash is spent. A lot of money's on the big splash. Well, anyway, my time's, goodness gracious me, I'll have to close. I don't know if I'll even get this much. I'll be in about 22 minutes. I'll have to close, otherwise I might not put it on for me. So the question then is, how can we get this message over to the New Zealand Committee? Because the Parliament only cover the affairs of the New Zealand, like readings they do, first and second and third reading and that, on different topics, and but when it comes to the Olympics, it's their portfolio kind of thing, and they'll just push on to the Olympic people. Well, you go to the Olympics, you know, they'll take care of this, or they'll sort this one out for you. So so that's the question. Now I must close. At least I've got something on. So I did put another video on about nearly 3 weeks ago on this too. So if you could listen to that video as well. So I must close then. So if you could then give an idea of how, I don't want to give my phone number actually too, because I might get too many calls, and besides I'm in a transition between two phones. I'm having difficulty in getting a phone on this smartphone I've got, and my old cell phone was better. I just need to press the green button. But anyway, so what can we do then to get this message to? Once they hear, see, the problem with the older generation in particular is they got one foot in the grave. See, I went to a woman just recently in a prominent position about this sort of thing. I won't mention exactly, because I don't want it to interfere and infiltrate like in their particular field. But she was a woman that she's prominent in the field of getting knowledge, like giving knowledge. So I went to her and asked her and mentioned about this sort of thing, but it wasn't long enough, you see. It was just a mention or two, and she just said, oh, they lose money at the Olympics and they don't have to go for medals or something like this. She said, just what you expect from when they got one foot in the grave, but the younger ones usually better. But then even the ones that got one foot in the grave, if they're given a video like this, it can make them sit up, because they can't interrupt the video, you see, and they can't interrupt print. They've got to listen, and then if you give them time, like this video, they might just think about it, you see. Oh dear, my time's up. It's I must go. It's been 25 minutes. Well, look, I'll catch up with you on this. If you could let me know on the video if you're interested in this, if we get enough people interested. My last video, there's quite a lot of interest, but some people probably thought that I'm connected with the buskers amp that was stolen. This is why I wanted to differentiate between the buskers amp and me, and I was going to put up a sign actually in front of me here, but I didn't get to doing it. The video was on. So if you could then let me know on the interest on this video now, how much interest you are in New Zealanders snapping up the diamonds and the rubies and the emeralds and the sapphires and other metals and bringing them home. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Rather than the insults of bronze medal. What an insult. Bronze, could they say? That's an utter insult. Well, anyway, we've been to that before, so I must go. My time's up if I can even get this lot on. So if you could let me know then how many people are interested in this, you see. And then if we got the interest, then that's good too. And particularly, how can we get this video and how can we get the New Zealand Committee interested? Because they're the ones that are got to do the trick. They're the ones that are contact Tokyo. Tokyo's got money. Look, they got the World Cup. They've got a lot of money coming in from tourism, from this. They've got money in Tokyo. So I must close then. Otherwise, I'll be. I doubt if I get this much. So bye for now. But so if you could just leave then, if you're interested in this video, let me know. So well, just leave that for now. So thank you. Goodbye. It's Colin's the name. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.